The Justice Department in Bogotá was stormed on November 6 to 7, 1985, when a group of militants from the leftist radical movement M19 seized the building, taking about 300 people hostage, including the leaders of the Supreme Court of Colombia. The aim of the militants was to get the government to respond to their demands related to government departments and political reform. A few hours later, the Colombian army launched a large-scale operation to free the hostages. The assault was accompanied by intense fighting, tank fire, and arson. The conflict lasted almost 28 hours and ended with the complete destruction of the militants, but with the loss of hostages, more than 100 people, including 11 judges of the Supreme Court. This incident has become one of the bloodiest pages in the history of Colombia. Tchaikovsky was not just an author of books, but also a true friend to his readers, especially to the kids, whom he taught with his poems and stories. In this picture, you can see the atmosphere of warmth and trust that prevailed in Tchaikovsky's house. Perhaps the photo shows children who are listening with interest to the writer's stories, and he, in turn, is surrounded by the attention and love of his young fans. Such moments symbolize not only the writer's personal communication with the audience, but also his important role in children's literature, instilling in children a love for books and culture through their vivid and memorable works. Kurt and Courtney were often shocked by their behavior, openly demonstrating closeness and mutual feelings without paying attention to the opinions of others. This moment can be considered as a provocation, a challenge to society, and at the same time as intimate events in love. The film combines elements of horror and psychological drama, exploring themes of mild greed, despair, and survival. The atmosphere of the film is gloomy, with an unsettling aesthetic. Despite the low budget, Terrorist Mushrooms has become a cult work that has inspired many. These beauty courses in New York City are not just workshops on makeup and skincare, but also professional opportunities for women to explore the necessary aspects of self-care in an atmosphere of luxury and exclusivity. Rubinstein emphasized that everyone can become beautiful if they take proper care of themselves, while recognizing their own dignity and beauty was part of her philosophy. The courses attracted the attention of not only ordinary women, but also stars, who strengthened Helen's reputation as not only a successful businessman, but also an expert in the world of beauty. This step was important during the period of changes in the social role of women in the post-war years, when the concept of beauty became associated not only with appearance, but also with personal freedom and confidence. Such a scene is often used in movies and photographs as a symbol of privacy, intimacy, and reflection. Perhaps it was a moment of relaxation between filming, or just a personal moment of the actress catching the light and shadows of Rome. The time and place, 1955, Rome, also plays a major role in creating the atmosphere of the shot, emphasizing the context of how Lauren became a symbol of Italian beauty, which combined both grace and natural strength. In 1947, in Moscow, the young clown Yuri Nikolin performed one of his first acts called A Man from the Audience. This comic image became the embodiment of his unique talent for turning everyday situations into scenes filled with sincere humor. Nikolin portrayed a man in the circus arena who decided to ride a horse for the first time. His character, awkward, a little unstable, but incredibly charming, quickly captured the hearts of the audience. Einstein often emphasized his indifference to appearance and comfort, preferring practicality and convenience. Fluffy slippers symbolize his desire for homely comfort and simplicity, which stands out especially against the background of his scientific achievements. This photo reminds us that behind the brilliant theories and fundamental formulas there was a man who, like everyone else, loved to relax and was no stranger to everyday joys. The simulator, created in Russia, was a mechanical way that simulates the actions of a pilot in the air, which allowed pilots to develop aircraft control skills without risking their lives. Although this device was not as advanced as modern simulators, it played a key role in the training of pilots, giving them the opportunity to better master the management of the vessel in a safe environment. In Russia, simulators of this type were used in aviation schools and scientific airfields, helping to improve the quality of flight crew training during those difficult years. The meeting of Leo Tolstoy and Maxim Gorky in 1900 became an important event in the literary and social life of Russia. Gorky, a young writer and public figure, was fascinated by Tolstoy, who at that time was one of the most influential thinkers and writers in the world. Tolstoy, in turn, was interested in Gorky as a man who sincerely aspired to social justice and changes in society. Several useful points can be highlighted from this meeting. Firstly, Tolstoy had a decisive influence on Gorky in terms of philosophy of life and morality. Gorky later admitted that he taught Tolstoy to understand his human pain and suffering, and Tolstoy, in turn, emphasized how important it is for a writer to remain honest with himself and the people. This meeting also became an important moment for the literary world of Russia, as the two great writers, despite their differences in medical and philosophical views, could openly discuss issues of concern to them and their generation. In August 1940, in Mexico City, after an assassination attempt, Leon Trotsky was taken to the hospital with serious wounds. The assassination attempt occurred on August 20th, when Ramon Mercader, an NKVD agent, entered Trotsky's house disguised as a supporter. He dealt him a fatal blow to the head with an alpenstock. Doctors at the hospital fought for his life, but the wound proved fatal. The next day, August 21st, 1940, Trotsky died. Many girls, including teenagers, worked in industries such as armament, tank building, aircraft manufacturing, as well as in the chemical and metallurgical industries. They worked on lathes and in foundries, doing the same jobs as men, despite hunger, cold, and the constant danger of bombing. The role of women in factories was not only in the production sector, but also in moral support. They supported each other in conditions of hunger, cold, and constant risk of death. These girls became a symbol of Leningrad's courage and resilience, which continued to persist despite the blockade. If you love vintage photographs and want to immerse yourself in the atmosphere of the past, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Here you will find unique snapshots, interesting stories, and captivating facts about celebrities and events that have left their mark in history. Support us with a like so we can continue sharing this amazing collection with you.